Hello from Gardening at Douentza here in Ireland, and it's a really exciting day for me because I have just received this envelope in the post. Now this is 5 seeds, and I can tell you for nothing, it's the most I've ever paid for seeds before. And I paid so much for them because it is a plant that I really want. Now, any of you who have watched my recent videos in Kew, etc. will have seen how my heart was completely captivated by the Welwitschia plant. And it is a plant that is so rare that it took me a while to track down where to get seeds from. And seed is the only way that you could get your hands on one of these specimens. So it's lucky I'm good at germinating seeds. The Welwitschia plant, it's a wonderful throwback to the Jurassic period, or hangover from the Jurassic period, because it's a plant from a time when gymnosperms ruled the earth. And gymnosperms, of course, are conifers are gymnosperms, and this amazing plant produces cones. It's something that grows in the desert and produces just 2 leaves its whole life. And these leaves just grow longer and longer, and they can shred and tear in the desert winds. And the gentleman who first found this plant, I think he'd heard a legend of it before, Mr. Welwitschia, for whom it's named, when he saw this plant, he fell to his knees, and I bet he wept, because this is such a spectacular plant. Well, I don't quite feel like weeping today, but I am very anxious to get on and sow these seeds. So let's do it together. Let's sow some Welwitschia seeds. And here we are with the envelope, which has come recently in the post. Really exciting stuff. So now these seeds I put my name down for sometime around Christmas, and because they were out of stock on the website, and they sent me an email when they came back into stock, and I bought them immediately, but I've since found that they're again out of stock. So we're talking fairly rare seeds here, and look at them, aren't they amazing? Now these aren't seeds that need to be sown fresh, however, I'm sure if a seed is left for too long, it goes into a kind of very dormant state and can be it can take longer to revive. So here are the seeds, and I put them here on the plate, 5 seeds, that's what you get. So I'm going to soak them in a fungicide, and I have here a fungicide which I'm going to make up, and just give it a good shake. And the reason for this is that if these seeds have been wild collected, then there's a very good chance that they're impregnated with a fungus that will dampen off and kill seedlings when they're very small. So the majority of the populations in the wild have been impregnated with a fungus called Aspergillus niger, and that is what we're guarding against, because what happens is the seeds will germinate correctly, but then they'll dampen off and die when they're in the seedling stage, and we don't want that. Okay, so there's my fungicide, and again, conflicting information as to whether or not we should soak these seeds beforehand. We should certainly water them afterwards with the fungicide, but I'm going to soak them in the fungicide now. In we go. Now, as you can see, these seeds are floating, and there's a general myth in circulation that seeds are spoilt and not viable if they float when placed in water. And that is true of some seeds, but not all. Now, I guess I'm going to leave this about 24 hours. And here's where I sterilised some pots for potting up my Welwitschia. They're in bleach, and I'm just going to take them out now, so that I can use this trug for mixing up the composts that I'm going to pot this plant up in. And And now I've removed the water, and here we have the pots. Now I'm sure you're balking at the size of these pots compared to the comparative size of the seeds, and it would seem at first glance to be a typical rookie mistake to be planting seeds in such an enormous pot. However, the thing about the Welwitschia is that it produces a long taproot, and if you damage that root when repotting, that's the end of the plant. So the website that I checked out recommended 300mm depth, that's 1 foot depth, at a minimum for planting these seeds. And after much deliberation, I've decided to do what they said. And for today's mix, we shall be using 2 parts horticultural sand, which has already been measured out, 1 part ordinary compost, potting compost. Now these have all been sterilised in a microwave. It took me a long time and a lot of batches, but I got there. And 1 part leaf mould. Now this is an ingredient that I've made myself in the garden from leaves, and it's necessary for the Welwitschia. Now, any of you who grow succulents may think this is a queer kind of mix for a plant that grows in the middle of the desert, but in fact Welwitschia isn't a succulent, and it does need adequate moisture. And the reason why it gets away with growing in the desert is that it has this really long taproot that we mentioned earlier that goes down and finds water at a really deep place underneath the sand in the Kalahari Desert. So this is a plant that needs to be kept moist when grown in a pot. And to that we're adding bone meal, fish blood and bone actually, which I'm going to mix around with my gloved hands, of course. And now I am going to put the compost into the pots, and I'm just going to put some polystyrene at the base to act as drainage. Now the Welwitschia is just such an amazing plant. It has so many labels that attach to it. It's monotypic, and that means that it is the only species in its genus. So basically we're looking at a prehistoric plant from the Jurassic period that gradually watched its environment change and get more arid, and all of its fellow plants die until it was the only one that survived. And I guess it adapted over time with this enormous taproot that buries deep into the sand and finds water. And here I am back with the seeds that we soaked last night, and as you can see, they've continued to float the whole time. Now I am now going to sow these amazing seeds, and I'll just see if, you see some information says that the skin around should be removed. What I'm going to do with this seed is try and remove the coating from around it. I'll just do it with the one and see how that goes. It's kind of fiddly, and what I don't want to do is damage the seed. This is the one with the coating, or most of the coating, removed, and I'm going to put that here. Of the other ones, this one we'll place here. This one will go here, and this one will go here. Now, as you recall, I had 5 seeds, so what I'm actually going to do is plant 2 of them together, and this is something that I've read you can do, and it just leads to you getting a more interesting kind of plant in the end, because you've got 2 basically growing into each other. Now I'm going to mark those pots in some way so that I know what I've done with each, and then the next thing is to just put a bit of the mixture on top, just a little And now the next step is to water my Welwitschia, and I'm going to water it with the fungicide water that I soaked it in. So I've actually uncovered that seed there, which is not the intention. We'll top dress it a bit more. Heat, 25 degrees, light and moisture are the main things that these seeds need, as all seeds, but these also need fungicide. And here we have my seedlings all set up in position where I hope they will germinate soon. And just to show you what we have here, we have a grow light. This is the Spider Farmer grow light you saw me unbox some time ago, and I'm using it for these seedlings because, well, I think they need good light. And I have placed them in a transparent box, which you can see here. There are the pots in there. So I watered them once and then put them in the box. And the great thing about the box is then it holds humidity in. There's no need to re-water. Let's lift the lid and have a look. Now, as you can see, there's a good number of drops on the lid of the box, and that's fine, that's good. The humidity that's trapped in this box is just circulating round and going back into these seedlings, and I decided not to put any other plants in here with them because these have been watered with a fungicide, so the fungicide is going around and just making sure that, well, the chance of bacteria etc. is reduced. So they're doing well. And the thing with something like this, with the box that holds moisture in, is that, yeah, it's a closed system and it holds the moisture in. So you need to get the moisture content right to start with. You need to make sure that you've put the right amount of water on your plants before you put it in the box. Not too much, not too little. And you can adjust that by taking the lid off and allowing it to dry out if needs be, or by just adding a bit more water. But there's no hard and fast rule. It's just something that you need to get the hang of. And of course my seedlings are sitting on heat mats because they need upwards of 20 degrees to germinate. So that's nice and warm down there. Okay, fingers crossed. I am so excited today, and I wonder, can you see the object of my excitement there in the picture? We have 2 Welwitschia seeds that have actually decided to germinate. I couldn't believe it this morning when I went to the container where I had them like wrapped up. I'd actually given up hope at this stage because it's been 27 days since I originally sowed them. Now, I had thought they would germinate much sooner, but do you know what? I have 2. Yesterday when I checked my container, this stick confused me. You see that sticking up? I thought, oh, what's that? And it's actually just something from my leaf mold, my sterilized leaf mold. So this morning when I went in and I saw this fella here, I was like, oh, it's another stick, but why is it soft? So we have this little seedling here, and this is the one where I removed the coating, and we have this second one that is looking much more vigorous and bouncy over here. And of course, the seedlings are actually brown. Normally seedlings of course are green, but I suppose if you're a 2,000-year-old living dinosaur of a plant, why be the same? I hope the one on the right is okay. It just looks a little bit shriveled, whereas the one on the left looks so much more perky. But hopefully the other 3 will germinate within the next few days. And well, if I have 5 seedlings rather than 2, it's so much more to play with. Okay, let's see what happens next.
Game over.
I'm here to tell you that this story doesn't have a happy ending, and the Welwitschia seeds died. So what happened was they just seemed to stall for a few days, nothing happening. I made sure they weren't too dry, and when they seemed a bit dry, gave them a little bit of water with fungicide in, but in the end they just wilted and died away. and the other 3 that were still in the box never germinated in the first place. So I have no Welwitschia plant to show you. I was in 2 minds about whether or not to publish this video because obviously I don't have a resultant plant. However, I did manage to get the seeds to germinate, and so I thought it might be useful to put the video up for anyone who's trying to germinate Welwitschia seeds, because this video can show you how to do it and also the mix to use for your eventual plants. So if I were doing this again, one thing I would do differently is I wouldn't start the seeds off in such big pots. I'd put them in smaller ones, because I've since read that you can actually transfer them if you get them quick enough. So with the large pots it's difficult to know how much or how little to water, so that's what I would do differently. Also, I wouldn't try again with the same company that I've bought from, because obviously their seeds are impregnated with the fungus and presumably they always get from the same source, so yeah. And if you find this video useful, if by chance it helps you to germinate some Welwitschia seeds and you end up with a spare, then please do bear me in mind. Having said all that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!